All right, so again, Academic World Quest this year will be on February 23rd. So I know that all of you are excited. Some of you may have registered your teams and others may be wondering and questioning what exactly is Academic World Quest. So in Academic World Quest, you get to compete head to head with other local Greater Houston schools in an international trivia competition on February 23rd at 4:30. So February 23rd is a Tuesday. 4:30, we will begin. It's virtual, so it allows you to access from anywhere, from your home, from your phone, or anywhere you choose. You could be even in a park if you decided you wanted to gather and socially distance and play. However, we wanted to really accommodate and make sure that people are practicing safe measures when they are competing this year. So this is a chance to dethrone Stephen F. Austin High School, which is a school out of Fort Bend ISD, and compete at the national level. The nationals this year will be April 17th. And for the winning teams, you will have more information on next steps after the competition on the 23rd. Also, to help you better prepare for World Quest, you can use the Academic World Quest Study Guide. You can download that for free at wachouston.org. So on our website, there's actually a link where you can click on it and it takes you right to the PDF that gives you all the information and the topics to research for your competition, for the competition. So at the local level, this year it will be a little bit different. Teams, of course, will be played with 4 students from the same school. So you all have to be registered in the same school. However, a team can be comprised of different people. If you want to put seniors with freshmen or sophomores and juniors, it's up to you how you put your team together. However, it just needs to be only 4 students can compete on one team. That's the main rule, and they need to be from the same school or the same. We do have some groups who are homeschooled, so you need to be from the same homeschool group, same private school or chapter to actually compete. This year it's a little bit different. We do have different categories. So you can register a team of 4 students as a competitive team or a non-competitive team. And so all that really means is if you're non-competitive, that means that you just want to have fun. You're playing for fun. Maybe this is your first time. You don't know much about Academic World Quest or the local competition. Maybe you're a freshman and you're just like, I just want to play for fun to see how, this goes, right? And so you can register as a non-competitive team, but this means that you will not be considered for the national competition. So you can just play for fun, but you won't be ranked. Although you may receive a score at the end of the game, your score does not matter when it comes to being ranked to be qualified for nationals. Also, another new thing for our local competition, and I really want to emphasize this is just local, our Houston competition, is that individuals can actually register. So for example, maybe you're a student or you have a friend who goes to a school and they can't find anyone to play with them. You can actually register yourself with your name, your email, and we will place you on a team, on a non-competitive team. So if you automatically register as an individual, you will not be put on a competitive team, but just another non-competitive team to play with them and get to meet them. It's another great way to connect, build friends from other schools that you may be joining. Another thing to know is that answers are submitted by teams, not individuals. So when you are playing and you are competing, these answers will be only submitted by the team captain. So whoever the team captain is, they will submit the teams, and I'll go over exactly what a round may look like in this virtual competition. The top 3 teams this year will have the chance to compete in the national competition on April 17th, 2021. Again, we'll follow up with a little bit more information as to what's going to happen, best way to practice, give more information to the students who actually win the local competition. So I can't stress this enough. Academic World Quest is really fun. So we're hoping to just kind of engage and keep that fun, free-spirited competition alive this year. Although we can't meet in person, however, we're still trying to keep that going with our virtual. Also, the national competition will be virtual this year, of course, for safety measures. So that is something else to consider. You don't have to worry about trying to find or take time away from school because it's on a Saturday and you'll be able to access it. So exactly, if you're wondering if this is your first time or you just kind of need a refresher on what to do, this year, because it's virtual, we'll be using a platform called Trivia Hub. So Trivia Hub, they're the kind of the team that's known for hosting trivia, quiz and game shows for a lot of individuals. And they will be responsible for pretty much the run of show on the back end. It's totally free for you all to log in and use. The week of the competition, I will send out the link, the specific link to you that you need to use to play the actual game. And there will be 4 rounds of 8 questions each. And each round will follow the same pattern. So round 1, for example, the questions will be read. So that means questions 1 through 8 will all be read first. Then you will go into your breakout sessions. From your breakout sessions, your team will discuss and answer the questions. Only the team captain will submit the answers. So really make sure that if you are the team captain, that you have a strong connectivity that to your Wi-Fi. Of course, you can still enter on your phone, but make sure whatever device that you are using is fully charged, that you have a charger next to you, or some type of battery that can power your device for the duration of the event. The duration will be about 2.5 hours. So just kind of come prepared with any snacks, drinks that you may need to kind of be charged for the time we're playing. After you submit your answers, you'll return back to the main meeting, and then the answers will be tabulated, and then we will discuss the answers for round 1. And then the same pattern will repeat again. Round 2, the questions will be read 1 through 8, go to a breakout session, and then you will come back after you've answered your questions. So it's really, really important because we are doing this virtual, so it will look a little bit different. I'll talk about how to challenge around in the next coming slide. So I know some people might be wondering, how do I challenge a question and it's virtual if I'm going into a breakout session? We'll talk about that a little bit later. One moment. I'm going to answer the question after I finish reading. So you have about 2 minutes to answer each round of questions. So that's about 30 seconds per question, starting from when you enter your breakout room. So that kind of leaves you no time to be playing around, no time to be trying to figure it out. Really, you either know the question or you don't. However, it's always best just to take a wild guess if you are not sure of what to answer. After the breakout session, each team will be scored. And then after the round, you'll kind of see like who's in first place or who's on the leaderboard for their team.
Hey, Felicia, I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say 8 questions per round,
yes,
if you give 30 seconds per question, then it should be 4 minutes, right? Per round. It's not 2 minutes. Your slide says 2 minutes per each round.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, so it'll be about 4 minutes. So thank you for that correction. I'll have to edit it later. I'll also resend you all the PowerPoint presentation with the corrected time. So yeah, you'll have about 4 minutes to answer the questions. I'll say about 3 to 4 minutes because we don't want to allow too many minutes between the breakout session, and that's just to control on because we're in this virtual reality, we do have to cut the time short, so you won't have a full 4 minutes to cut down on cheating, or to be able to use other devices. So which will be definitely a little bit harder to manage during this time.
Yeah, I think, but 30 seconds seems reasonable to read a question and say, read the answer choices, right? So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so basically how it goes is that they would already have had the questions read to them. So as we're moving through the questions, you can already be thinking, the whole purpose is that they can already be thinking through what the answers are. And then once you go into your breakout sessions, there'll be a drop down menu of where you can see the question again for the second time. And then the team captain would just put A, B, C, or D, whatever their answer is for that.
Got you. Yep.
Yeah. But we will give time to read each and every question. So they would have already seen it before they go into their breakout rooms.
Okay. But the answers are still going to be the multiple choices, right?
Yes, it would be multiple choice.
Okay.
Yeah. So just some general rules and guidance is, please, it's a little bit harder for us to actually manage this, but please do not use an atlas, dictionary, almanac, or just consulting with anyone else who is not actually playing the game. This will be very, very important, which is why we do have a limited amount of time to actually participate in the game. Participate in the breakout sessions, because we want to make sure that we cut down on any time for people to actually search for things or try to use things as a reference. And so, of course, there will be a penalty for cheating, or if someone, for some reason, is like, oh, I think they were, doing something that they shouldn't have been doing, there will be a penalty for that. If you wish to challenge an answer, you can go to the court of last resort. And so there will be a few SWAC interns who will also be assisting during the time. And so these are some of our interns who we trust to be helping assist us during this time, who they'll be able to look with me over if you have to challenge a question that you see. Again, challenging a question will look a lot different in this virtual reality because we are doing this virtual. So you may only challenge a question from the answers read immediately preceding the challenge period. So when you go into your breakout sessions and you look over the questions, so for example, there's a team captain. I'm gonna make these two names up. So if Bob and Sally are on the same team, and Bob is the team captain and Sally is another team player, let's say Bob and Sally, they're like, oh, we don't agree with question number 1. We want to challenge this question and the answer to it. Sally can come back into the main room and come to the court of last resort. And we'll go over this on the day of the event. We'll still go over how to specifically challenge a question, but you'll be able to come back from your breakout room to challenge that question. And then you can go back into your breakout room afterwards. So again, it will have to be tweaked because we are doing this virtual, which makes it a little bit more challenging. However, we will allow for people to challenge questions during the competition. It is very important that the decision of the judge is final. So if the challenge is unsuccessful, the team which brought it will forfeit one of their points. So there is a tiebreaker round. So instead of having a lightning round where there are a series of questions, this year, and this is just local competition, I want to make sure you understand that this is a local competition, we will only have a tiebreaker question. So teams that are tied for first place will play just kind of a lightning round, which all it will be is one question will be read and answered by teams that are tied. The team that answers the fastest with the correct answer will receive first place. So 2 teams could technically answer the same question, but it's really just, can you answer the question the fastest and correctly? And that's the easiest way that we were able to kind of come to a conclusion or a consensus with this kind of virtual reality that we are doing. However, I will mention that this year, due to the pandemic and COVID, they are allowing up to 3 teams to be represented per city. So we are taking the top 3 teams to participate in the national competition. We will still have 1 local winner. However, the top 3 teams will have the ability to accept or decline whether or not they will go to the national competition. So some best academic World Quest practices, and this came from some of the students from Stephen F. Austin who won previously 2 years in a row. One way that they studied was each team member would receive about 2 to 3 topics to research and kind of become these experts. So there's 10 categories, and for each category, each student would just kind of divide and conquer those specific topics. They would learn them, and then they would practice quizzing one another. There's a lot of online quizzes like My Quiz, Kahoot, and you can build your own quizzes to practice with one another to prepare for these. Also review the topics prior to the trivia competition. The teams who place and do the best every year are the teams who actually put forth the effort to actually study and use the study guide. The study guide is where we get all of the questions from with the articles. We really, really use it, and we really take a lot of time to prepare this so that you can feel best prepared when you're competing in the competition. So please, please use it to your advantage. Divide and conquer. Don't feel like you have to do everything by yourself. Really choose teammates who will carry the load with you, which makes it really, really great. Give me 1 second. Right now, I'm just going to stop really quickly. Does anyone have any questions about what I just spoke about?
So will each individual team be put into breakout rooms, each on their own Zoom, or can our team be together and all use the same Zoom?
Yes. So each person will be pretty much registered for themselves. However, if you are, let's say, Renee, that you're all together, you would just need to let us know ahead of time. So if you're doing this at school, where you're all together and you're just kind of sharing your screen, you will need to let me know ahead of time that you want to do that so that we're aware and that the platform is aware that you're doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, other than that, we wouldn't know. But that's a great question. Is you can play together, but you just need to let us know that you're going to be using one device.
One device. Okay, so if we have all participants in one house, for example, we put them in one room, we will have to inform you that they all sitting at a distance in a single room, but then using one device to, or like they can even sitting in one room, they can use different device, but captain will be
yes,
answering, right?
Yeah, so you can still all be in the same room with using your own device, or you can still, we've used Trivia Hub before where some people are still just using one account to still do it.
Okay.
So either or. However, the week before the competition, next week I'll be sending out some information just requesting how will you be playing? Will you be playing from one account, or will everyone from your group be logging into the account, which will play a role into who needs the Zoom link?
Will there be a Best Dressed award on Zoom?
This year, we didn't do a best dress, but hopefully next year we'll keep the tradition alive of doing best dress, but not this year.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Let us see. So I'm going to stop kind of sharing my screen, and then I'm going to do like a Kahoot practice quiz, which will allow each of us to just kind of go in and what's that? And practice. Again, please keep in mind that none of these questions will be used in the local competition on February 23rd. However, they are relevant to the topics for this year's competition. So all of these questions are from the articles and everything that you should either be reading and studying from. So they're all relevant to what we're doing. And hopefully by the end of this practice quiz, there's only 10 questions, but hopefully by the end of it, you can kind of gauge your own self, how you feel, your comfortability level. It's not meant to scare you. It's only meant to prepare you and see like where you are on the spectrum of getting ready for the competition in a couple weeks. And so again, you can always join us. We have another practice session that will be on the 16th. So you can always join us again for that one as well to get yourself a little bit more prepped for what's happening. Is everyone familiar, or has everyone seen a Kahoot quiz before?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I am going to, not sure what happened. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you all, and what it is going to do is ask you to put in that code. Can everyone see it? So in order to join, you would just go to www.kahoot.it and then enter the PIN, which is 312-7556. Awesome. Okay, is that everyone who's going to be joining us before I close it? Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started so we can all see.
Hey, I'm still yet to enter my, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You can still, if you are having trouble, you can still go to kahoot.it and put the game pin, which is 312-7556.
Yep, I did. Thank
Okay.
you.
Are you in?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Okay, next. Which event is widely seen as the catalyst of the Arab Spring? The correct answer is the self-immolation of Mohammed Bouazi, a street vendor in Tunisia. I'm gonna make this bigger. Yeah. Nice. Okay, number 3, the ILO Future of Work report calls for human-centered development. What is not one of the 11 recommendations? The correct answer is ensuring civil society voice at the ILO. An overarching challenge for the U.S. Foreign Service is the correct answer is a lack of appreciation for the value of diplomacy. Question number 5, which of the following is a consequence of climate change to the U.S. economy and financial sector? All of the above. Good job. Question 6, what is the primary reason behind the evaporation of the Aral Sea? Over irrigation of cotton fields. Number 7, what is ratio of elections affected by violence across the world? The correct answer was 1 in 5. Since 2013, at least 44 French troops have been killed in Operation Bahrain, which is focused on this campaign. So which country? I think there should be, which country is focused on this campaign? Sahel is focused on this campaign. Question number 9, which G7 economy was the first to reopen? China was the first country to reopen. And question 10, as the U.S. accelerates its troops drawdown in Afghanistan, what outcome is already being observed on the ground? More frequent clashes with an expanded Taliban presence was the correct answer. Good job, Renee and Grace. and Jenna. Great job, everyone. Okay, so I'm gonna stop my screen share. So again, that just kind of gives you a scale of what kind of like where you are. A lot of those questions were pulled from topics that are going to be. So I would say give yourself a pat on the back, just of how you were able to answer those questions. And for questions that you weren't too sure about, I would say take some of the time just to kind of briefly review the study guide again, making sure that you are best preparing for yourself as well as for your teammates, and what to do. Let me see. I have a few more things on the slide and then we'll be good to go. Okay. So some of the next steps is to register. If you have not already registered, please register. You can find a group of 4 students, so yourself as well as 3 other students to compete on a team. You can register at wachhouston.org and then go to upcoming programs and scroll down to Academic World Quest. Also study, make sure that you download the study guide. When you go to the registration page for Academic World Quest, you'll see the kind of click here for the study guide. You can click on that and it'll send you the link. And then also after you study, then get ready for the competition on February 23rd. And that is a Tuesday from 4:30 to about 7 o'clock. So that gives us about 2.5 hours of time to play. Again, there will be small breaks in between each round, but that's only a few minutes for you to grab and go grab a drink or some popcorn or a quick restroom break. But there won't be much time in between because we are doing a virtual and it is a timed virtual session. So I do want to make sure that you are in it for the long haul because it is timed. Did anyone have any other questions pertaining to Academic World Quest, whether competitive, non-competitive, or individual non-competitive? Okay, so for registration, when you go online, I have to switch the screen. Where am I? Okay, back here. Let's see if it allows me to do that. Okay. Okay. Can you let me know if you can see the screen? The World Affairs Council? Like if someone can put it in the chat because I can't see the your faces. Uh-oh. Whoa, I have no idea. Wait, it's not letting me. Oh, okay. Nope, it is not coming up for me. Okay, we'll just leave it be. Oh, sorry. Can someone come off of mute and let me know whether or not you can see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So once you go to programs and events, you go to upcoming programs. Also, if you have not received a link, tomorrow we will have, for those of you who are football fans or just curious, we will have the Houston Texans president, Jamie Roots, tomorrow. And so everyone gets free admission. The students will get free admission. So if you would like admission into that, please send me an email and I can give you the link to that, the exclusive link to that. And that will be free of charge. So you can go to Academic World Quest the 23rd. Once you're here, it will give you your options as to what you can do. And so you can add however many teams. So each ticket is one team, like you can do one ticket. Boy, I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe. Let me log out and see what happens when I log out of my account, actually. Okay. Try this again.
Hey Felicia, if we have sent you an email with all the details already, do we need to still do this one?
No, someone specifically requested about registration, so I just wanted to show for those. Some people are not actually registered just yet for it. So this is where you would just go to click that up. You would get your tickets. From getting your tickets, I say that it is best for you to make sure that whoever is registering, that they are the team captain, so that the communication can go through you. Yeah, just so that the communication can go through you, that you can get the link and register your team who will ever be participating. And so this kind of just takes you to that whoever is the team captain will enter, and then also how many teams you're registering. So you can register up to 4 teams in each division. So let's say you want to do non-competitive, then you can register 4 teams non-competitive. If you wanted to do competitive, you can register up to 4 teams competitively. So that could be anywhere between about 16 students can register from your school. And then from there, you would just save and check out and then just follow the rest. But that's really, we just need the team captain's information. Put your email, your school, how many teams you want to have. And then from there, someone will just contact you and take the information from you. Awesome. Okay, so again, I know that not everyone on the call has a SWAC chapter, so I do want to still let you all know that there's still time for you to become a SWAC chapter for the 2020 year. Sorry, not 2020, 2021. So if you want more information about that, just feel free to connect with me and I'll get you more information. Also wanted to remind you all that we do have SWAC discussions, which will be starting off in March. We already have people from Episcopal High School as well as Memorial High School who will be leading and taking charge of these SWAC discussions. If your school hosts a SWAC discussion, the participants or the presenters can have their meet some of the requirements for their SWAC Global Scholars Certificate. For more information, just kind of reach out to me, send something to edu@wachhouston.org, and then I can get back to you as to helping you decide on what discussion or something that you would like to host for the upcoming months. I just wanted to remind you all briefly of some upcoming events that we have. Again, tomorrow we have Jamie Roots, Houston Texans. So for those of you who are football fans or just curious as to what he has to say, please reach out. You can get your kind of virtual ticket to go to the program tomorrow. Also on the 11th, we have Philip Gordon. We have another session on the 16th. So if some other students from your school would like to participate, make sure that they join us. The 16th is the last day that we will have an information session, because afterwards we will have just the competition on the 23rd. Also on the 17th, we have Dr. Alan Steinberg with West Houston Association. Formerly, he used to be at Rice University. He's going to be talking to students and teachers about civic engagement, how you can get engaged during a time like this, and how really your civic engagement prepares you for your future and your careers. On the 18th of February, we have the rise of anti-Semitism around the world with Sharon Nazarian from the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. So that was going to be really, really awesome. And then February 23rd is Academic World Quest. So from 4:30 to 7 p.m. It will be virtual. The 25th, Blood, Gun, Money. The 2nd, we have a SWAC discussion hosted by Carissa Nair from Memorial High School. March 9th, we have Conversations with the Conscience. Mark Morey, who is a former FBI analyst who worked in intelligence. So that will be really nice to come out and hear. And then on the 23rd, we have Turner Clark from Episcopal High School discussing about cybersecurity. So we have some very, very exciting things coming up. Again, make sure that you connect with us on our social media accounts as well as any other through our accounts and stay up to date with our newsletters. We have bi-weekly newsletters going out to everyone so that you can know what upcoming programs we may have. However, again, I'm looking forward to everyone joining us on February 23rd at 4:30. If you have any questions between now and then, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I will drop my email in the chat so that you can send me a message regarding any questions you might have about WorldQuest and things that you might want to check up on between now and the actual competition. So if there are no more questions, I'm going to end it here. And again, I thank you just for your time and your patience of joining us this evening for the first information session. Again, feel free to join us on the 16th, or if you know other students at your schools, please tell them to join us on the 16th. Any more questions?
For the certificate, what are the requirements again?
Hey, Christopher, I can't really hear you. Could you speak into the microphone a little bit more?
Wait, can you hear me better now, or?
Kinda. Okay, you can go now. Let's see.
Do you want me to type it in the chat? Or?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. What were the requirements for the certificate again?
For the Global Scholar Certificate?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. What is this? I think I just, no. Okay, so from the top of my head, I'm probably going to mix this up, but for the Global Certificate, you must attend 4 programs per semester, per kind of like the fall, winter, and then in the springtime. So a total for the academic year would have been 8 programs or webinars. They've been virtual, so you have the chance to do that. Also writing like a mini excerpt, so that can be like a 3-sentence excerpt about what you actually learned or what was some takeaways for you for that webinar that you attended. And then from there, whatever volunteer hours that you've been able to do. We do know we are in the midst of a pandemic. However, there are plenty of ways to volunteer virtually. If you need any suggestions, please feel free to reach out to us. As we know, other schools and people have been able to volunteer during this time with helping with online campaigns or food drives, or donating to community fridges or clothes, etc. There's so many other ways that we can give back to the community here. Just let us know. And then another way is if you host a SWAC discussion, this also goes. Also participating in Academic World Quest. For those who were unable to participate in Academic World Quest, then you have to do an additional come to an additional programming. Again, all of our programs are virtual, so as long as you have internet and a phone, you can always log into a program and register to come to a program for that. But those are some of the requirements for the Global Scholar. If you are a graduating senior and you meet all of the requirements, in addition to your certificate, you receive graduation cords.
Okay. And do we have to meet all of them, or is it like a certain amount?
Yeah, so the thing is for, when it comes to Academic or World Quest, some people are doing it, and then some people are just doing the additional programs that they need to go to because they're unable, because of their schedule, able to meet that, which is understandable. And then for the service project, another way is just they counter it off with another program if they were unable to do it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any other questions?